Okay, today we are playing a game on Junkertown. We are in the Platinum SR range, and we will be playing Roadhog the entire way through. And our current team composition is Reinhardt, Roadhog, Widowmaker, Farah, Mercy, and Zenyatta. So it is remarkable in the fact that we are attacking on Junkertown, and yet it is not the pirate ship composition of Reinhardt, Orisa, Bastion, which we are all no doubt very familiar with by this point. Junkertown's a fantastic map. It's on. Other than that, though, it is a wholly unremarkable team composition that is perfectly fine. So, first off, before we go any further, I would like to meander slightly at the start of the video, more so than usual, so we're probably going to be here for the remainder of the night. So, recently, as in today, in fact, actually, the channel got 1,000 subscribers, which is incredible that 1,000 people have thought to themselves, oh yeah, this asshole, he's worth watching. That's incredible. So thank you all for that, first off. Very flattered. Definitely don't deserve it, but thank you anyway. So, this is of course a time for celebration and to do something, probably. The thing is, though, that I'm a very uncreative person. This whole thing that I'm doing here was stolen from somebody else, which was stolen from somebody else in turn, and so the cycle continues. I'm not a very creative person. So, a friend had suggested a compilation of what? So, I thought about that, and basically I'm gonna solicit suggestions and feedback. The idea I had was, a hero that I've had an interest in knowing how to play is Widowmaker. And I had in fact tried to learn how to play Widowmaker myself, like 2-3 seasons ago at this point, and even I could not bear through the unrelenting torrent of toxicity that this hero elicits. So I gave up. And that should tell you a lot, because I myself am a boundless font of toxicity, and yet I couldn't tolerate it. So I'd thought, since the season is about to roll around, I could play a bunch of games as Widowmaker on one of my accounts. Basically just play Widowmaker on it. Not to like a ridiculous degree where it's like, oh, 4 people have picked a DPS, but I'm still gonna lock in Widowmaker. Not to like that level, but I'd basically just play Widowmaker. And then like join voice chat, not contribute to it, because that's a whole other issue. But, and then play a bunch of games, and then I would compile in some manner of compilation all the best moments thereof, of people being assholes, and me also being an asshole. So that was an idea. On the more productive end, I had thought of maybe collecting like the most common questions I've gotten in like emails and comments, and then like answering those in one big long video that would probably be like 12 hours long. But those were the ideas I had. Or, there was a video I had made where I talked about, like, all of the tanks in one video and, like, how they're meant to be played, basically. I thought, perhaps we could do that by a factor of 4 and talk about every hero in the game in one video, which would probably be about 46 hours long, but you get the idea. Those were the ideas I had. I would like to elicit feedback and suggestions because I myself am not a creative person. So I will defer to the internet, which is a lot of things, and sometimes creative is one of them. Well, almost always creative, it just depends on how productive that creation is. You know? I mean, we had the annoying orange for a while, and that came out. Not everything that comes out of the internet is good, but sometimes it is. Anyway, so, that meandering out of the way. Over in the email, over here today, we have, I felt strangely ineffective in this game, especially during the compact scrambles centered around the payload 2 points. In these scrambles, it is generally better to focus on one target, fight only them, and only switch when you kill them, or to regularly reassess and look for better targets, even if your original target is still alive. And then, the second point is, longer than that, but the basic gist is, should I focus on, my sensitivity is low, and I don't have a lot of, mouse space. So, is it better to try and avoid the scrambles, or should I, like, increase my sensitivity? Blah, 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 blah. The basic gist is, I have trouble moving around in these things because my sensitivity is low. Should I turn it up? Should I avoid scrambles? So the first question is very simple. The first question is, you should always be reassessing your target, even if your target is, even just like broad strokes. Even if you are currently focused on one person, you should always be reassessing your targets. Scrambles or not, because Overwatch is a fast game. Who the most important person you should be focusing can change at a moment's notice. It might be that you want to kill this, it might be you want to be like, I'm going to kill this Genji because he's being annoying, but oh, their Mercy has just appeared and now I want to kill the Mercy. Oh, but now Soldier's using Tac Visor, so I have to go fuck with him. Oh, but now Reaper's going to start using, you know, it's very in flux. So, yeah, you should always be reassessing who your target is, even if your current target is still alive. And then, yeah, you pick whoever the biggest target is, and then you do focus on that person. But you should always be reassessing your target. Even if your target is still alive, a lot of things can determine who the most important person is. So you should always be reassessing, just generally. The other thing is, basically sensitivity related, and I don't really have a lot of desk space either. Let me try and, it's gonna look like it because my keyboard is currently here, because then I can push buttons on the keyboard without making a bunch of noise for the microphones. It's gonna look like I have more space than I do. Because here's my space, but then the keyboard goes there. So, and then there's all these cables going across the, mouse pad as well, because I sit upon an empire of filth. So, I don't have that much space, and my sensitivity is 7, and my DPI is, what a professional organization we run around here, 2,400. So, not very high, and I can turn around and like that kind of scramble fine personally, despite only having like a couple of inches to move around in. The basic answer I'm building up here to is experiment and see. Because you're not going to be able to avoid being in these very compact skirmishes. It's just the nature of the game that happens sometimes. So you're not really going to be able to avoid it and stay on the outskirts. Especially as someone like Roadhog, who is generally pretty close to the epicenter of some nonsense breaking out. So, basically just experiment and, like, find what works for you. I do have my sensitivity quite low, and I don't have that much space, but it doesn't really impact me in any way. So, basically just experiment with your sensitivity and see what works. In general, having a lower sensitivity is going to mean that you're very precise, and that you're probably more accurate as a result of it. I know one Widowmaker player who has their sensitivity set to 2. And, that's mind-boggling to me, but they swear that it helps, so it varies so greatly from person to person. That's why I'm gonna complain now. This is, oh my god, this is the most meandering ever recorded by man. I fucking hate those posts that show up on like the Reddits and everything now and then, where it's like, what are the sensitivities and DPIs of the various pro players, as if knowing what Taimu's sensitivity and DPI is going to help you in any way. You just got to experiment and see what works for you. In general, I do recommend having a low sensitivity, but if you have trouble keeping track of things as a result, or you don't have enough space to really move around very well, increase your sensitivity. Varies greatly from person to person. Experiment, see what works. Which is probably not the most helpful answer in the world, but sensitivity is one of those. Basically, it's a sensitivity question, and sensitivity is one of those things that varies greatly from person to person. And the other question is very simple. Yes, you should always be reassessing your target. So now that we've gotten a tremendous amount of meandering out of the way, let's start the video game. So we're on everyone's favorite map, Junkertown, and we've got extraordinarily annoying people in the voice chat today. Like, they think they are hilarious, and they are very proud to let everyone know how hilarious they are. They aren't very hilarious. So, very badly missed hook, very tragic. So Arissa currently should not be doing what she's doing, where she's trying to move up on us and contest the payload. She's not allowed to do that. Orisa is... Yeah, first off, they don't really want to hold the payload here anyway. So she shouldn't be. But then Orisa is trying to do it as well. It's not... She shouldn't really be doing that. And then they have a Doomfist as well, so their team's fantastic right now. Someone... I remember seeing someone the other day. Is Doomfist finally worth playing now that they've patched out all of his bugs, or is he still trash? Nah, he's still trash. He's just... He's just... Oh, no. So, the Orisa was not allowed to be doing this, and we have finally killed the Orisa. In general, if you're playing Roadhog, focusing the Orisa is really good, because her head is fucking huge, so she is very easy to kill very quickly as Roadhog. Here's Doomfist. Doomfist is also a good one to focus as Roadhog, because Doomfist is a very big character. So he's very easy to hook, and very easy to get a good meat shot into. So the enemy team... We get to push through because they've basically been performing a bunch of illegal maneuvers back-to-back, and they have indeed been punished for them, where they weren't really allowed to advance onto the payload like that. They didn't really have a great team comp to try and do so anyway. And Orisa's trying to advance forward aggressively and hold the payload further out. No. If you want to do that, maybe, like, pick a hero that's better at that, like Reinhardt, you know, one that actually has some presence. So, very interesting occurrence right there. What happened with the Doomfist? We did hook him, right? Yeah. Alright, sure. Latency, probably. So, anyway, it's okay. It's only Doomfist. It's not the end of the world. So, some of these skirmishes are indeed breaking out right now. As Roadhog, we are one of the heroes that does have an opportunity to try and kill Mercy during Valkyrie, so we should try and hook her, which... Doesn't look like we were trying to hook. It looks like we were trying to hook Zarya. Yeah, maybe. Mercy just kind of swung by, so I wasn't sure for a second. We should try and hook the Mercy out of Valkyrie and kill her, but it ended up not mattering because our Widowmaker has actually managed to kill the Mercy, which is incredible, really, isn't it? The fucking Widowmaker actually killed the Mercy? Unbelievable. But we should have tried to focus on the Mercy a little bit more, because we are one of the few heroes that does have the opportunity to kill her in Valkyrie, and Valkyrie is, of course, very strong. That being said, though, also advice with playing against Mercy in general is, if she's using Valkyrie, it is usually better to focus people on the ground and try to burst them down through the healing instead, because people on the ground are way easier to hit than the Mercy and Valkyrie, so... hopefully you can kill them through Mercy's healing. But I am more of the mindset that if you're playing somebody that can kill Mercy, you should try and kill Mercy. And Roadhog, pretty big hook, you can try and hook the Mercy. And, hopefully kill her, but as we all know, Valkyrie's really fucking annoying. So... Anyway, we're now on the street phase in Junkertown, so we've gotten through the harrowing part. I have actually seen a lot more games recently actually get decided on the street phase, which is incredible. Basically because people have started being really bad, as if they weren't bad enough already. And they get, like, here, lose momentum, and then just let the defending team sit up here, and they never do anything about it. But, like, that keeps happening lately. It's very odd. It's like people have suddenly forgotten how to play on this map. It's very odd. So, anyway, we've almost gotten Whole Hog, which is really good against Orisa, because you break Orisa's barrier, and then the Orisa player... They always are like, I'm going to use Fortify, because then I can't get knocked back. Then you just put the whole fucking hog, literally, into their mouth, and they just die. So, it's a good ultimate to have against Orisa. Doomfist also, very annoying for him. Enemy team currently performing a bunch of illegal maneuvers, where Doomfist is playing Doomfist, so that's already bad. But Junkrat over here is trying to flank with the Doomfist, and so we get to just... pin Junkrat into a corner. Doomfist was already low. Then Pharah over here kills basically the entire enemy team. Nice. Didn't really have to do anything on the street phase in Junkertown, which is as we would hope it is. Junkertown is a trash map, honestly, though. You might notice that this game is actually reasonably long in the replay. Don't let that confuse you. They don't get it past the first checkpoint. Even though they should have done at several points. Like, it's... the way people be sometimes. So we got Orisa currently segregating herself over in her own little corner, completely away from the entire enemy team. We decide instead that we're going to focus Winston. I would have gone for the Orisa first, because the Orisa is way out in no man's land, and she shouldn't be allowed to get away with that one, basically. And we go on the journey of 1,000 miles, where we're going all the way up here. But, like, honestly, there's so little on their team that can punish you right now, that what I would do is I'd just walk my way into this Orisa. Because Orisa's a slow-ass hero. We're a slow-ass hero as Roadhog, obviously, as well. But what's Orisa gonna do, right? She's gonna try and run this way, and she's gonna go nowhere. What can they punish you on their team? Doomfist can punch you, but he's still not gonna kill you. It's just not how it is. There's a Winston. There's nothing on their team that can punish you for doing this. I just walk myself right over here, because this Orisa, she has put herself in the worst position possible. Her team are all the way over here, and she's going all the way over here. She's getting further away from them with no way out. I'm just gonna go kill her. And she tries to walk this way through the building, whatever. We walk this way, she's gonna reappear, hook her and kill her. Or, we run through here after her, we hook her and we kill her. There's no way she gets out of it. Unless she pulls off some sick fortify plays, basically. And she, completely kills our hook or whatever. But then, she still has so far to go. Lucio's model is doing something really incredible through this wall, isn't it? Look at that. He's like an atom thin in his upper body right now. Anyway, so even if she blocks the hook, she's got so far to go before she gets to safety. You can probably just run her down. There's just so little that could punish you for going for her. And yeah, we get the Winston, which is also good. We killed their main tank, which is good also. Yeah, but if somebody is out of position that badly, you gotta punish them for it. And Orisa is one of the very easy heroes to punish for being out of position. We ended up punishing the Winston even though he wasn't really out of position, so that's good, but... So now Orisa is in a similar position still. She is still in that position that she was earlier, which is where she shouldn't be, and we kill her as a result anyway. And then the entire enemy team, they just really don't know what they're doing. Oh, good heavens. This is not a very good time to use the Rudy Tooty Whiz Bang Shooty, because what are we really going to do with it, right? Mercy's not really in a position where we're going to pin her into a corner and fuck her, because there's somebody for her to jump to. And there's just kind of nothing really happening right now. So it seems basically like missed hook, fuck it kind of play. Just walk after that Mercy and shoot her a little bit. There's no need to be so eager to use your ultimate. It wasn't a fantastic position for it, and it kind of ended up doing basically nothing. Whereas if we had the Rudy Tooty Whiz Bang Shooty right now, we could just break this bad boy, immediately break Orisa's ultimate, and then just chew through all these people. This would be a way better time, and then we can at least push the payload a little bit further, even if we don't just kill them. Because from this position, it's not hard to get somebody and pin them into those corners. Whereas the position we used it in, it didn't really accomplish that much of anything. So they do in fact manage to kill out our momentum now, because Soldier killed Mercy and other people, but mostly Mercy with TAC Visor. And we didn't really have much to swing it back round with. You might notice that our team comp has gotten a significantly more terrible. We now also have a Doomfist, which is very tragic indeed. Remember how excited everyone was for Doomfist? Even when Sombra came out, everyone was like, where's Doomfist? Then Orisa came out and we were like, this isn't Doomfist. Then Doomfist came out and we played him for a week, and then we went... Well, we played him for a week, then they fixed him, because his hitbox was huge. Then they fixed him, so that the punch didn't just, hit anybody from, half the map away. And then suddenly we were like, oh, this hero's actually really bad. Oh no, oh no. And then everyone stopped playing him. And, indeed, this is the first time I've seen a Doomfist in 6 months. Exaggeration, but not much. So, we've got a Reinhardt. which is cool, because we can just sort of slowly walk in with him. However, our Reinhardt is now dead. It's okay, though, because Mercy res Doomfist. Their Winston's got Primal Rage, which is just massively inconvenient, and a few people have died during this push, so this push is just now not meant to be. We shouldn't be fighting right now, because we're trying to fight without Mercy and Reinhardt, which is just not going to work out. Fortunately, there's not really much the enemy team can do to punish us for this, so even though we are technically overextending, they have such little overall kill potential on us, we don't actually really get punished for it at all. And now our team has recollected and we can just sort of start fighting again. Though we should have really been backing out. If the enemy team was slightly more threatening than their team is, it would have been bad. So we've ended up using Whole Hog at a really sad time, because we used it right as Reinhardt used Earth Shatter. And that just happens sometimes. I have been the Reinhardt that got fucked, because my Roadhog did it, and I have been the Roadhog that fucked the Reinhardt before. It just happens sometimes, and there's it sucks, but you can't really account for it. Well, you could just coordinate your ultimates and communicate more. Yes, thank you, Strawman, I have constructed to belittle. But in solo queue play, the Roadhog does not communicate that deeply with the Reinhardt, so it is not to be. Sorry, Strawman. So, anyway, fight not going super well, because they had quite a few ultimates to use, you might notice. Soldier had Tac Visor again, and even though it looked like we would kill him, we didn't, because he got Sound Barrier, and then Mercy used Valkyrie, and we couldn't really kill him. So we ended up losing our momentum again. It's okay, though, because they didn't actually really kill everyone. So now our team is managing to regroup, and we get to start pushing in again. And again, their team is really bad. So there's not that much they can do to stop us either. Soldier now does not have Tac Visor, and we do indeed just bully him. I don't like to comment on aim better, but I feel like we haven't really talked about that much going on in the gameplay. The biggest thing in this game is that we miss a lot of hooks that we probably shouldn't really miss. Generally, as a result of it, looks like being too eager to hook somebody, whereas generally you want to be quite deliberate so that you definitely hook someone. Because, don't forget, part of the threat of the hook can often be more scary than the hook itself. So if people just see you throwing your hook around willy-nilly and not hitting people with it, then you're way less threatening because, well, you're hooking a lot, but you're not hitting anybody, so your hook's on cooldown a lot, so the enemy team aren't scared of you very much because it's always on cooldown. And, like, it's just like in situations like this, it's like, we're really eager to hook him, and there are a few times where we just kind of, like, do a big whip and then, like, overshoot the target as well. Just, like, chill. Be relaxed, be deliberate with your hooking people. Because the idea is not that you want to hook as many times as possible. You just want all of your hooks to be as impactful as possible. Doesn't matter if you hook 1,000 targets if none of those targets convert into anything. It's better to hook like 5 times, but then all of those hooks lead into like a one-team fight, Obviously, blatantly hyperbolic numbers, but you get the idea. It's not about who hooks the most, it's about who hooks the best. And generally being really deliberate is the way to do it. So, this is a wonderful camera angle taken from inside of Roadhog's folds. The cameraman did not survive. So, now, they do not capture the first checkpoint, as I have already spoiled for you. And, indeed, the length of the video does indeed give this away, because clearly they don't push it all the way to the end, because then it would be like 20 minutes longer. They should have gotten this checkpoint, but they didn't quite get this checkpoint, which is very sad for them, but we've all been the team that should have gotten the checkpoint and didn't get the checkpoint. So, dreadfully terrible things happened all back to back to back to back, where... What do we hook? Why is our hook on cooldown right now? Optimistic. Very optimistic hook. very hard to hook people at the very max range, basically. So, then, we're about to hook. Oh no, he hooked us. Oh no, we're gonna walk away. Oh no, we got flashbanged. And basically, by the point you get hooked, you're already fucked. Even if you account for the fact you might get stunned and hold your whole take a breather for a second, you still die. So, the only logical thing to do is go back and go, I shouldn't have got hooked. Which is not necessarily the most helpful thing in the world either, but is legitimately the way to avoid that death. It's okay, Mercy's in the game, so we got to be revived again. Our Hanzo has built up his ultimate very quickly, because they have a Roadhog. Hanzo charges his ultimate quite quickly because he does a lot of damage if he hits somebody. So if the enemy team's Roadhog is being a big ol' ult battery for the Hanzo, he is gonna build his ultimate up really quickly. Like, it's been 45 seconds and he had his ultimate. That's pretty insane. That's like Moira levels of ult charge right there. So even though we got picked off right at the start, our Mercy undid our mistake, so that was nice. Then Hanzo's ultimate, like, really killed their momentum, and then we were just sort of slowly able to turn it around. Their Mercy is now tilted, because she just got headshot killed by Sonic Arrow. So, she is tilted right now. We've almost got our ultimate, which is good, because that's basically a push we get to deny right there, or a team fight we get to deny, I should say. Not necessarily a push. And we decide to use it right now, because they use sound barrier, so obviously they're going to come in right now. And then Orisa puts hers down. Hanzo's gotten his ultimate again already, so we use a bunch of ultimates and we drive them away. We use 3 ultimates, but one of them is only the Bongo, one of them is Whole Hog, which we're already halfway to having again, and one of them was not Sound Barrier, Dragon Strike. There we go. That's the one, which also charges fast. Here's McCree. He's trying to use Deadeye right now. Why is he not allowed to do that? Pop quiz. Why is this a really stupid decision? His whole team's dead. So we just sort of right-click him to death because there's nobody there to tank for him at all or create space, and he's just doing it out in the open, so he gets to be fucking killed. Torbjorn has basically wasted Molten Core because they've been, like, they lost this fight like 10 minutes ago at this point. Oof, it's long over at this point. And we've almost got Whole Hog back up again. The enemy team not doing a great job of actually pushing in right now. However, now their Winston has killed our Hanzo. So we are indeed missing, like, our DPS. We still have Torbjorn, but Torbjorn does not really decimate in the DPS. Torbjorn's also now dead. You might notice that they have changed to some good heroes. Look at that. It's almost like counterpicking is an element in this game. They changed to Winston, and Hanzo died. Whoa, one problem dealt with. Then someone to change to Junkrat, and whoa, Torbjorn was dead. Other problem dealt with. Damn. He was upset about that one. Did you hear that noise of anguish that came out of our boy Skippy? Let's listen to that again. Damn, he was not happy about that one. Ooh. So, we've got Whole Hog again, and we decide to use it right now. I would probably not, because at this point we've already lost 3 people, and it doesn't look like it's over, but like we've lost our 2 DPS, and we lost Orisa just a moment prior. So, it's basically over, but we've got enough time to get back and fight again, because we're stalling them out so early in the track, that if we save Whole Hog, we have definitely got time to get back to the checkpoint and use it again there. And that team fight, we actually would have a chance of winning, whereas the team fight we used Whole Hog in, we have relatively low chance of winning. You don't want to commit an ultimate to a team fight you've already lost. You don't want to also commit a team fight to a fight you've already won. It's better to just hold it for the next one in both of those situations. So we are hesitating to go out and try to touch the point. We should be going out to touch the point. The majority of our team was already here, and they are really low threat to us still. Because there's a Doomfist and Junkrat, and their Winston just died. Not that Winston threatens us, but I mean, their team comp is still pretty bad. So we could have been trying to muscle out here a little bit earlier. So this is what I was saying, where yeah, they got it, right? Like, they got it, but they didn't quite get it. So, even though they got it, they didn't quite get it, and now they never... They don't have time left. They got 30 seconds. They don't got much time. And these people over here are trying their absolute hardest right now. Winston is trying to push people away to get this last centimeter of track pushed, but it just doesn't work. And then he did that while his team wasn't here, so did Doomfist. Now the rest of his team are regrouping. Oh no, there's only 15 seconds left. They don't have time to wait for Doomfist and Winston to be back again. So they're now going to have to engage in the last team fight, 2 men down. So they're pretty fucked. Whereas Winston and Doomfist could have just waited over there for the team to regroup, and then come over here and made the plays they did, but with their team present, and they might have actually gotten these last couple of centimeters of track pushed. But alas, people lack these critical thinking skills, especially in the moment. They're just like, I have ult. We need like 3 centimeters of push. I ult now. And then they don't get it, and then they just make the subsequent team fight worse. Oh no, disaster. They don't capture the checkpoint. Oh no, very sad. That's what they get for picking Doomfist. Didn't we also have a Doomfist at one point? Yes. But our team was better. Skippy is very excited right now, by the way. He is one of the teammates that thought he was very funny, by the way. The other was, I don't know, that guy, Butterflies? I always like Butterflexes. I was like, if you're eating butter, you ain't doing much flexing, my boy. But no. Human Typhoon picks Mercy. Fun fact, Human Typhoon, that's Vash the Stampede. That's who these glasses are actually modeled over. They have the little kink in the glasses. This is supremely useless information to you, but might be interesting for, you know, why not? We've already talked about all kinds of nonsense this video. Why not talk about more nonsense? Why am I wearing these glasses? Amber tinted glasses are meant to help with eye strain. I don't know if they actually do, but I figure it can't really hurt, so why not? Anyway, Human Typhoon playing Mercy is very funny, though. So, things that stand out the most in this game, basically, we don't really use Whole Hog very well, is one thing. We just miss a lot of hooks, as well, that we shouldn't really miss in these situations. And they generally look as a result of being too eager to try and hook someone. Just be chill, basically, and be deliberate. You know, take the extra half second to line up the hook, and so that you, like, definitely hook the person, rather than, like, whipping halfway across the screen, you know. Deliberate, being deliberate is generally the best way to increase accuracy, which is part of the lowering sensitivity thing. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. Please submit suggestions, give feedback. I don't know what to do. I'm an uncreative person. What would be a good 1,000 subscriber thing? You tell me. You probably know better than me. And I hope you found the video helpful. Yes. Oh God, what a disaster that was.